welcome to Arnold Banter on the Freelance Section podcast. This week we got the whole crew on, Damon, Doug, and Cody.
I'm here early.
Cody actually made it on time today.
That's how bad the news is.
Yeah, everything's gone wrong.
So we do start with actually, Damon kind of foreshadowed it, some kind of tragic news. So DriveTribe and FoodTribe are both going bust at the end of this month. And the company that, the parent company and everything going bust, basically because they have no money due to a lack of making money from ads.
Yeah.
And something with the chip shortage that I'm not entirely sure how that ties in.
I'm not sure if everyone's run out of money, but DriveTribe wasn't making money, and basically, as far as I can work out with Chinese, if you're having a Chinese investor, you kind of have to make money to keep getting invested into. Mm-hmm. So I think that was part of their downfall there. It was a social media site, but it had to make money because it's a business and it had investors behind it. It had to make money, and it didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't making any money.
Yeah, kind of saw that from a mile off after realizing how much money they must have paid the creators, and then people who literally took pictures of cars they found on the street and then paid them 20 quid every week. During a pandemic, mind you, it didn't seem like the smart way to do things.
It's like they were driving themselves even more into the ground, even though the pandemic was also driving them into the ground.
The first thing I said, I don't think I've commented it, but I think the first thing I said when I saw they were paying for spots was, do they have Volkswagen's old accountants from the Bugatti Veyron project? Because it doesn't make any sense.
I think they did get VW's old accountants.
Well, in fairness, though, honestly, we could go on for days doing nothing more than guessing about why the ship is sinking. Honest.
Yeah.
There is so many things that we don't even know. Okay, none of us was in that loop, and I wasn't. So honestly, there's so many things that could go wrong and cause the whole thing to go bust.
It's a business.
Yes.
So many things. Yeah. So, but their reasoning was the pandemic. Pandemic tanked prices of ads for some reason due to chip shortage.
Right.
Something along that line. They said that caused them to lose ad revenue, which meant they couldn't afford to keep the site aloft. Yeah.
From what I heard, probably when the pandemic was just getting underway in the summer, because of how big a deal it was and all of the hospitalizations and the deaths. From what I remember correctly, a lot of companies, potential advertisers, were pulling back their ad dollars just to make sure the company could survive the pandemic, depending on how bad it was going to be. So it was like a reallocation of funds from advertising to sustaining the business throughout the pandemic.
And if you have a business sustained by advertisements.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But with a lot of bigger, certainly in the automotive world, with, let's say, General Motors or Ford or Dodge, Chrysler's does not include that. A lot of them are pretty well known as it is, so I think they could afford to take the advertising hit a little bit just to make sure that they could get through to see 2021 and then see 2022.
Yeah.
And then from an article I read, apparently, even in the first year of DriveTribe, before the pandemic of 2018, they had lost $12.5 million on DriveTribe, and that was a yearly occurrence. So the pandemic definitely hurt, and no business ever makes its money back in the first 2 years. But it was 2018, 2019 a loss, 2020 pandemic, and then just continued.
And I'm sure it launched in 2016 as well. So
yeah.
So the first 2 years were a given, but from 2018 onwards,
it could have been okay, but it wasn't. They just kept losing money.
The bottom line is the site's going down. Hammond's taken over the YouTube channel and I'm guessing the Instagram as well, because I think it's all the socials, and that's probably going to turn into some sort of extended version of the smallest cog, I'm guessing.
Yeah. What's going to be interesting though is, here's my question. So they said Hammond's taking over the YouTube channels. So that's DriveTribe and Food Tribe. But doesn't James mainly do all the Food Tribe stuff?
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to keep doing Food Tribe or if Hammond's going to kind of do more Food Tribe stuff as well.
I'm not sure if he bought Food Tribe. I definitely remember him buying DriveTribe, but he has bought.
On the Food Tribe side, I haven't heard anything about Hammond. Nothing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I haven't either.
I wonder if the Food Tribe YouTube channel will even still be up. I'm not sure. I don't think they've said much about that.
What I know, I haven't heard anything about May doing anything. And guys, okay, it hurts me to say it, but it's an elephant in the room. Let's face it, Clarkson, May, and Hammond haven't give a flip about the tribes in a long time.
Yeah.
That's true. The last time they posted something on their own, even on DriveTribe through their own profiles, has been a hot minute. Yeah.
I think.
And then
the thing is though, it's not just they're not got car content to post, because if you go on their Instagram, they've got tons of cars cropping up. They could post about, but they just post it to Instagram because they get more likes, and let's be honest, they have a fan base that isn't as aggressive as on DriveTribe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if they lose that, then see, if they shut everything down, they might not have rights to it, to the title. So like the Food Tribe thing James May does on YouTube, he might not be allowed to do that anymore due to copyright infringement. If they lose that, they might not have rights to those names. So the DriveTribe channel and the Food Tribe channel on YouTube could go away. But what he could try to do is bring it back as James Bunker Kitchen Bunker, whatever that thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, look, ain't none of them cared about it. May hasn't posted in over a year. And Food Tribe
same with Jeremy, I think.
Yeah, and Jeremy doesn't do nothing.
I know the last post he made. It was the one about his Bentley Flying Squirrel going back to the dealership because it had some electrical issue. Like that was literally the last post he made.
Yeah, Hammond was better, but really is only better because he just reposted the videos that went up on DriveTribe rather than leaving Mike Fernie to do it. So he was a bit better.
And Hammond hasn't been on Food Tribe since it started at all.
I didn't even know Hammond had an account on Food Tribe.
He's never on. He just never does anything.
Mind you, I will say, if Hammond is as fussy eater as me, I could see why he didn't. Because I went on Food Tribe for about 5 minutes and then left it. Because if you're a fussy eater, that's what you do with Food Tribe.
Yeah. The question I got for you guys is, how many of y'all are saving all your posts in a panic?
Oh yeah.
I've just finished.
I've spent many nights up until about midnight going through all the little posts I've done and going, okay, I'm saving that one, I'm saving that one. I'm not saving my spawning posts because those I have all the photos on my phone from when I spawned the stuff, but articles, posts about, podcast episodes, stuff like that, I'm saving those. And I'm going to do the same for, Food Tribe, honestly, I never actually did a single article on Food Tribe. I just did, not spots, but like
one post
showing showing whatever I was eating or whatever I was, So I have all those photos on my phone, but yeah, DriveTribe I'm going through. I'm saving them all.
I'm lucky. I'm crap at keeping a schedule because now I only had about 100 posts to save.
Oh, it must be nice. I gotta go back to 2018. I gotta go back to August of 2018.
One thing was surprisingly how emotional, because remembering the times I wrote those articles, especially since I've moved house and done a lot of things, it is like moving house, where you're sort of going through all your old stuff and remember, those times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have 578 or 579 posts to go through. I have decided that I'm not saving anything.
Just letting it go.
I still have all the photos. Guys, I am not trying to find another food site. I'm done. The time I had was the time I had. I loved it. It was great. And what happened was amazing. But I ain't going back. I ain't going back. But what I think I'm going to do is just stick to videos. And it was a really hard decision. I thought about trying to panic save and try to hurry up. And then I thought, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. And I got the pictures. If I decide that I want to go someplace else, I will, and I'll just rewrite everything. So, and at least I'm not just copying and pasting some old stuff. So.
Yeah. So does that mean the food stuff's going to be on?
Yeah.
No, really. Does that mean the food stuff's going to be on your YouTube channel now, primarily?
I might do some, yeah. If I get my desire back to start cooking and try to restart creating things again, and I'll probably will put it there because that channel was strictly made for Food Tribe. That's just what it was made for. And now I have another channel that I'm working on, and I'm going to have enough wrapped up. Anybody who does video editing knows video editing will kill you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm looking at videos. I'm going to have probably 10 to 20 hours of editing it, just editing. Yeah, I'm trying to up my game and stuff, and trying to manage 2 channels is all I got.
Yeah.
You almost just got to take this on as your full-time job, Doug.
No, in fact, that's something else that's changed. I just picked up one, and I got a job opportunity I couldn't pass up. I'm basically getting paid to play with little animals, so I can't pass that up.
Oh,
Hey!
How cute.
So, yeah. It's better than I would have thought, but hey.
And before Doug starts,
What kind of animals? Can we just digress a little bit? What kind of animals?
It's for a major pet store. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And what I'll be doing is raising the babies when they come in, and handling them, basically playing with them, feeding them, checking them for any problems, passing out medications, stuff like that. And it's to the point that if I get all my stuff done before time runs out for the day, I can literally just go get the animals out and play with them. So I got everything from kittens to birds to rabbits to guinea pigs, ferrets, you name it. So.
Oh.
Yep.
That's
So
awesome.
That's a perk.
Yeah. And the hours are pretty good. They're really kind of flexible and stuff, so I can still do what I want to do. So, if I get around to, another location I want to go to and check out, it allows me. In fact, I even got a permission to do an investigation in the building I'll be working in, because I think it is haunted. So I got permission from the manager to be in the building and do a full-blown investigation in the building. So, I mean, it's totally cool. So.
That's sick. That's kind of an unexpected turn. That's definitely a bombshell. I don't think many of us were expecting that.
Yeah. No, actually, it's kind of uplifting because, talking about all this sad, depressing DriveTribe stuff, which we still have to mention where we're going to be next. But it's nice because Doug has a new job playing with cats and dogs and little stuff like that. It's wholesome. And we got more haunted YouTube content.
Yeah.
I got some in the works. It's just the fact that getting time to edit it all, and that's a nightmare. And some of these videos are going to be long, so
yeah. On that, Doug, I gotta say, the first episode you posted, the unedited, uncut one of you walking through the haunted infirmary, I noticed a few things. I was like, there's a face in that window.
Yeah, there was a few.
Dolls look a little too lifelike.
Look, that doll room was absolutely chilling.
I think I made a mistake. I was watching it last weekend, pretty much the day after you posted it. I think it was last weekend, and it was like 11:30 at night.
Oh God!
And my parents had gone to bed, and my cat was asleep. Dog was asleep. Everyone asleep, and I'm just sitting here with my overhead light on, watching your video, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this now. I should not be doing this now.
Yeah.
I actually had I had to stop about midway through and then just pick it up the next day. But it was chilling though, yeah.
Oh, you should have been there.
I was like, kudos to Doug. I couldn't do that. I couldn't walk through or even be anywhere near, be in a 5-mile diameter of that place.
Yeah.
With or without other people.
Yeah. Well, it's just me and my wife, and we would split up. She'd go one way and I'd go another, and it is interesting. I'll give you a little sneak peek though. The video I'm trying to get edited is really where all the good stuff's at. There's a window in there that has so many faces in it we lost count. And then at the bottom of the window, it literally looks like a horde of people are coming out of like a fog. It's so trippy looking.
Was that in the video or no?
It's not in the unedited, uncut.
Okay.
It's the one coming up, and it'll be so you'll get to see it for a minute and pause it. And then there is one point it was during the day just before we left, and I was just making quick laps around checking for things. And I sat down in this one room that was pretty active, but I had never caught anything in there. And I thought, well, one last attempt before I leave. And I set my tripod and everything down. And I had my K2 meter, and I just started trying to get some K2 meter action because, like I said, I didn't plan on being in that room long. I had other things I wanted to do. Well, I started asking questions, and the K2 wasn't doing anything. I got the K2 pointed right at the camera so everybody could see it, and I could see it. And I realized that whatever was answering me was not using the K2. It was using my phone. And the brightness would go in and out as I asked questions. Yes, was the phone would get really bright. No, was the phone would get really dark to the point you can't hardly see me. And then when I would ask something and it was yes, it would get so bright, everything washed out. It's amazing. I have never had that.
And you have that on video?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Oh my god.
I cannot wait to see that.
It's probably, oh man, I sit there for probably 10 minutes. I was freaking out. I was yelling at my wife. I was like, you ain't gonna believe what's happening, you know. And
Get in here! You gotta see this.
Yeah, and I was like, is this a male? And the screen would go real dark. And I said, am I talking to a female? And the screen would get real bright. And it was just, you know, and I asked, did you live here? And it would get real bright. Did you die here? And it'd go real bright. It's immediate. As soon as I ask the question, it happens. So there's no way it's a light thing or anything. As soon as I got done recording, it just left. When it was done talking, it left. And so I grabbed everything, ran out of the room. My wife was in the hallway. And I run up and I said, you have to watch this clip. I have never seen anything like this in my life. And she was tripping. She couldn't believe it. And then she caught a clear as heck EVP, electro voice phenomenon. And she
was it just talking out of nowhere? Or was
Yeah.
it in the video?
No, it's in the video.
Okay.
We got this recorded too. There was a lot of disembodied voices, but we didn't catch too many EVPs. A disembodied is when you hear it without a recording. You just hear it with your own actual ears. We heard that quite a bit, but we was only able to catch a couple in a recording. And she caught the clearest one I have ever heard, really. She was by herself. She wasn't talking. I was clear down a hallway. There's no way it was me. And she's coming up a ramp, and just as she starts to turn to come into this like open room to go to another hallway, into her camera, you hear something whisper.
That was so quiet, I didn't even know what you said.
Leave this place.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Yes. Plain as day. It is whispered into the camera.
Time to vacate the U.S.
Besides,
the country.
Time to move in with Damon for now until I go find my own house to live in.
Really?
she didn't hear it, but it come through on the camera plain as day. And
So did she leave that place after she heard that go on?
no, we had to spend the night. We was there. We spent the night in a place and left the next day.
Oh, Christ, on a bike.
Yeah. No, we got there at 5 o'clock. Well, 4:30ish or so in the afternoon, and we didn't leave until almost 4 o'clock the next day. So we spent 24 hours in the building.
So was that voice like? Did you find out anything about what that voice was that said leave this place? Like, was it an evil spirit or anything? Like,
No,
did you have
actually,
any
it wasn't.
background info?
Come to find out, it was actually her grandpa. He went with us. He left the house and went with us. He can travel with us. And it was
So
him.
your wife's grandpa went with us. Went with you.
And he didn't approve of the place.
And why was he trying to tell you to leave the place?
Because there was some evil spirits there that he didn't trust.
Oh.
And he was trying to tell us to get out and leave because it was dangerous. So yeah.
You stayed the night.
Yeah, and we spent the night and the whole next day, and yeah. Then there's another creepy clip where I come out of a hallway or a bathroom, and I thought my wife was to the right of me in another room because I heard footsteps walking around. And I come out and I turned to look, and I couldn't find her. And of course, as you guys see, we had some pretty massive lights on our camera so we could see to get around. And I didn't see her. And then all of a sudden I hear something to my left, and I look down that hallway, and my wife is about 50 to 75 foot down a hallway that way. And she's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "I just heard footsteps. It sounded like you over here." And I said, "That's why I assumed you was over here, and that's why I was looking." And I said, then I turned around seeing you standing there because I caught her light, pointing at me. So anyway, I was standing there telling the camera what was going on. And if you look in that clip, there's a mirror in the room behind me. And if you look in that mirror, there's a shadow figure moving back and forth and following me from the mirror. And it'll duck down, and then it'll pop up, and then it walks across the mirror, walks back, and it's like, look, and I'm not moving, so it's not me. And my wife's so far down the hallway, there's no way she could be on that mirror. We're the only two people in that building. So
I need the link to this YouTube channel.
I do that. So yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff coming. So
yeah, man. It sounds like you got a lot to edit though, because
I do.
When I did the VDR, the Fight for Days Reunion, it took me 2 months to edit all that crap. Yeah, mostly because I didn't know initially how I wanted it to go. So part of it was figuring that out. But yeah, it took me 2 months. So I know your pain.
Wow, 2 months is 2 months too much.
Yeah,
Right.
really, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
God.
So,
Hey, I hate editing. I edited one video, took me an entire day, and it's 4 minutes long, and it's crap, and it's still on my YouTube channel.
oh no, this is probably going to be about an hour overall, maybe a little longer. So
Oh.
yeah, it's tough.
Well, I can't
That's not-
wait to see it. I'm like so pumped to see this. All the stuff you just let me in on, like the window and the footsteps and the talking and the shadow. And, oh yeah.
And I still have to record a couple videos for that video to put into that video. Like when I show the window, I want to do an edit so I get back to me and I'm telling you what to look for in the window.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, it's just gonna be a window. No one, you really got to know what it is. So there's some little videos I got to make and record, which I can do here at home, and then edit them into that video. So yeah, there's still a lot to be done.
Like a voiceover sort of thing.
Well, instead of doing a voiceover, I'm actually just going to clip it in. So it'll just be me, and I'm going to figure out like a cool way to do it so it looks neat instead of just like me doing like this.
Yeah.
Do something a little cooler. And of course, I'll have all my other stuff from the YouTube channel instead of Food Drive. So what are you guys going to be doing after the ship sinks? What are you guys doing?
Well, I've already made an account, but I'm on Opposite Lock now. And if any of you, well, obviously you should know where to find it, but any of the viewers, if you want to go check that out, it's in a post I made about farewell to DriveTribe. That's pretty close to the top of my profile.
I know you've stopped
Go
doing
check
it
that out.
for the newer videos, but it might be worth just to track it down in the description of this one.
Yeah, I'll good idea. I'll chuck it down into the
Doug's
description.
channel, your Opposite Lock, and Cody's, wherever Cody's going, and probably my Opposite Lock if I ever get around to making it before this comes out.
I need to do that though. I haven't made one yet.
I need to make one too.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be there or not, to be honest.
I'll just link you both your YouTube channels. Then how's that?
Cool. I know Discord. There's a DriveTribe on Discord now, and there's a Food Tribe on Discord now that me and Ramon started.
Yeah.
And they're blowing up. Everybody from Food Tribe is on the Food Tribe Discord, and even some of the DriveTribers have come over. And
DriveTribe's got a big community behind it as well.
Yeah. The DriveTribe Discord is looking amazing. Them guys have really jumped in feet and set that channel, that server up really well. It looks really professional now.
Yeah. I'll hop on it now just so for the viewers so you kind of get an idea. There's so many different things. It's so the one I'm on at least is called Conversation Street. I'm not sure if that's like the same one we're talking about. But the one I'm on is called Conversation Street, and there's a tweet section, there's a cool wall, classic wall. So there's just all these different sections.
Right.
And honestly, it's pretty fresh looking. They made it look good.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got like all the different sections, that all different things that they used to do on top. Like cool wall, Crockin' Classic, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The cockometer, which is this one here, cockometer. There we go.
Nice. I know on the Food Tribe Discord, Ben got a hold of me, Ben Koenig, and got a hold of him, and he's like, hey, he was really impressed with just what Ramon and I was doing. And he said, if you guys need any help, he said, I got the DriveTribe one done. And if you want, I'll come over and help you. Well, he come over, and of course I invited Ben. You can't leave Ben out. And so Ben come over, jumped in immediately, and then John's now helping him. So John Coleman and Ben Koenig is helping to polish up the Food Tribe Discord, and it's going to be tight when they get it done, to be honest.
Yeah. I joined a little while ago. It was looking pretty good. I was surprised how much of it was already.
I was just on it last night. You had like a bunch of different new text channels and stuff. Yeah, it was looking good.
Yeah, they're going to polish it up for us, and me and Ramon kind of got it roughed in. More Ramon than me. I was just busy inviting everybody, and Ramon done most of that work, honestly. But he's a whiz at it, and now we got so between Ramon, Ben, and John, I think it'll be looking good.
Speaking of Discords, we do still have a couple lying around from DriveTribe projects. We have the pretty much dead fuel injection one, and then the very, very dead Court of Cars one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's even worth mentioning, because no one's even on those anymore. Unless you wanted to bring them back to life.
I mean, again, if I have admin for either of those, I would, but I don't know if I do.
I don't even know if I still have those saved. Let me go see if I... Honestly, I'm not...
Hey, kudos to Leela, though, for keeping the podcast going.
Yeah. I do have the fuel injection one still going. And I got the quarter cars. Yeah, both those still going.
Speaking of admin, this is if we can get it working. Hopefully, we'll have our own fuel injection site back up.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be within... Well, I don't want to give...
Back is in quotations.
Time limit, but,
I'm going to put back in quotations because, let's be honest, it lasted for about 3 weeks and then died off nearly immediately. So really, it's going to be a reboot. But if we can get everything up and running, I'd like for that to be the home and fuel injection. Yeah.
And that's where all the content that would usually be on the Fuel Injection Tribe will now be going.
Well, hopefully, I think for now it's going to be.
And maybe even eventually, like, more than just that. But, maybe even just more of like a DriveTribe kind of film. You can do articles, you can do spots and polls and stuff. That could be cool to try to get going. But for now, you can definitely post articles on those. Once we get it going, we have to still get it going.
We need some work.
Probably with the help of Cody, because he's the the
Resident WordPress guy.
yeah.
We've got one person who knows what. We've got one person who can speak to Rahel, one person who knows how to do WordPress, and one person who has access to the thing. I think we can get this going.
I think we can.
There you go.
And then Doug is over here for moral support. You know,
Yeah.
just chill.
And Doug knows how to build a community, as he's done.
Yeah.
Tried.
Doug knows how to invite people, so you know,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah.
That's the way to put it.
I mean, how hard could it be?
Right.
Don't say that.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, though, it is heartbreaking. You know, we know what the date is, the 28th. Those lights get turned out, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been still keeping up with Food Tribe completely. And as I put in a post, I'm going down with the ship. I'll be there last day, and my goodbye post will not happen until probably the 27th. So I'm not saying goodbye. A lot of people have said goodbye and then left. Some people have already done their goodbyes and still sticking around. My goodbye post is my last one. And honestly, going just through general food, I'm fine. But some of these goodbye posts are heartbreaking. I ain't lying. And especially when they come from some people that you really know. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is tough. It'll stop you in your tracks. It really will.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was...
it's difficult. It's kind of difficult to say, but especially through the pandemic. Since the start of the pandemic, I've been on DriveTribe for at least 10-20 minutes a day.
Mm.
And because it's something to do, and it's so the thing with DriveTribe, because other social medias is a big wide audience, and you find a lot of arseholes when you go to a big wide audience. DriveTribe was a small. Well, if Reddit is a city, DriveTribe is a small town, like a townlet, and therefore everyone knew everyone, and everyone was nice to each other. And in a time when the world was being incomplete enough shambles, a nice sort of raft of people we had together, just talking about one common ground, which was either cars or food, or watches sometimes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you think DriveTribe was small town, then Food Tribe was like hanging out with your best friend, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's so small.
Food Tribe is what DriveTribe was like in like 2018, 2019. It was still kind of tight knit, small, intimate. Yeah.
Food Tribe was sort of using the area analogy. Food Tribe is a village. There's about 13 people. They all know each other very, very well.
Yep.
They've all had, they've all played with each other.
Yeah.
They all grew up together.
Trying to put that one nicely.
Yeah.
Cody knows what I'm on about.
Soap opera, oh my god. Young and the Restless, is that you? I hate that one. I hate that one so much. But
Anyway, but honestly, Food Tribe and DriveTribe are both so intimate.
Yeah.
And
I mean, working on my own final post is probably not something I thought I'd be doing this January. This January I've been working on. I've combined it into what my next post was going to be anyway, which was 30-year anniversary of the Ford Escort RS Cosworth.
Yeah.
Which is February 19th. Obviously, I'm going to bring that back now. But yes, it's quite difficult trying to. I mean, so far I've just done the Ford bit of it, which is research right into articles. It's not difficult. But coming up with a conclusion that sort of summarizes my time on DriveTribe, especially how important it's been me throughout the pandemic, is not going to be an easy process whatsoever.
Yeah. But you know what, though, you're right, Doug, about all the goodbye messages and how heartbreaking they are. And that was part of the reason why I made Doomsday Protocol, that massive log post. I'm like, oh my god, some of these people don't even know like how many Discord servers there are, the subreddit, I was like,
it's not the end of the community. It's just the end
exactly.
It's just the end of the website, and the app,
Yeah, but how many people were in the know about all the Discord communities, the subreddit, and opposite lock, all that stuff? So I'm like, someone needs to make that right now. But a lot of them. I've read a handful. A lot of them were really sad. Layla, I'm sad to say your one almost got me choked up. Almost. Goodbye post. I was like, oh my god, wow. I have more feels than I was expecting.
I can't remember whose it was, but there was one that got me completely down. I can't remember whose it was, but just seeing how much of an impact this comparatively small social media site had on people is insane.
Yes. I'll make sure to make you bawl with mine when I get around to it.
I'm gonna try and get mine around to do the same.
Hey, Cody, I'm like you. Like normally in like TV shows, movies, and stuff, I don't like get choked up or cry very often. But honestly, if you can make me even shed a tear, just one, if you make me do that in your goodbye post, I'll do whatever you want. Honestly, I'll pay you money. I will just
Venmo me
do
$50.
Because honestly, there's been so many people who've been like, I can make you cry, and then they don't. But if you can, you're getting big prize, my boy. Big prize.
I'll just make the headline: "This post will make you cry."
No, in the subheading, but this is solely for the purpose of making Layla cry.
Don't tell me now. I might actually do that.
Or just, you owe me $50, Layla.
Yeah. You owe me 50 quid.
I ain't gonna lie. It's not necessarily a goodbye post, but we got Ramon's. He sent us a big gift box, and we got it on the 9th. We opened it on the 9th, and I decided to make the taste test video. And that morning on the 10th, when everything got announced that morning, I got the bad news that everything was shutting down, and I already had planned to make that video that night or that afternoon. And that was the hardest video. I struggled so much to keep my composure because I did announce in that video that I just got the news that everything's coming to an end. And it was so hard to make that video. I had to do it for Ramon. And I wanted to do it for the community because people wanted to see what, I thought. But I honestly was sitting there going, what's it matter? It's just, what's it matter? But I thought, well, this is on YouTube. It'll always be there, as long as YouTube's there. So yeah, that video was hard. That was one of the hardest videos I've made. So
yeah, it was a shock waking up that morning because I had woke up at 7 a.m. I never do that on my own accord. I just rolled over. I'm just gonna check my phone with my eyes just completely almost closed. And then I see the little Discord notification for the announcement that John Coleman had posted. And I see a little bit of text and I'm like, oh God, I need to read this, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I open Discord, I read it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't a joke.
Mm-mm.
Oh God. Oh God, this is actually happening.
I got that after school. Like it was.
Okay.
It was no, I think it might have been. Okay, let's check the calendar because it's either after school or after I went out with my dad. 10th Monday.
Yeah.
I did the exam on Tuesday. So I came home after school, ready to just kill it, revising for an exam. And then I just open Skype first, because I always check my Skype messages first, because in case something going on with the podcast. And I see Doug's post, DriveTribe Food Tribe is dead. You have me on Discord.
Yeah.
Well, how I found out about it is Monday morning. I woke up to go to school and got changed and I went downstairs for breakfast. And I usually leave my phone down in the kitchen, to leave it plugged in at night. And so I grabbed my phone and my phone does that thing where when you pick it up, the screen flashes on. And so I picked it up and the screen popped up, and I automatically just two text messages from a couple of friends from DriveTribe that said it had the exact same text wording. It said DT is dying, and I had both of those messages, one from WhatsApp, one from just my messages one. I'm like, wait, what? And so I'm like, let me just go open up DT and see what's going on. So I opened up the app, and there on the homepage it said "Do DriveTribe Community." I'm like, okay, that's probably it. I clicked on it. I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
You guys.
That was, and then that day I had to go do some pretty important stuff with some friends. I'm like, dang, how am I gonna like get through today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Having this news now. Oh.
I found out a little differently. I was up early that morning, and I had texted John to find out about a community manager for Food Tribe, since he had kind of give it up. And I thought, man, we got to figure this out. And I kept texting John. I wasn't getting an answer from him, and that's not necessarily uncommon, but in this case, it just seemed off. And I couldn't get him to answer me. And all of a sudden, I get the Discord announcement when he put it up. And before I could even finish reading the announcement on Discord, the DriveTribe Discord announcements, I get a text back from John going, "I'm very sorry, Doug, I couldn't say anything." And so he was apologizing to me because he couldn't tell me ahead of time. And then me and him had a bit of a conversation after that. I realized, yep, this is serious. So that's how
Yikes.
Well, some of those are less tragic than others, but they're all still tragic because
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's the death of two incredibly amazing websites.
The mad thing is, I'm gonna leave the DriveTribe app on my phone because I did that when what? Okay, this was years and years and years back now, when I was about 9 or 10. Fast and Furious 6, they had a game up and that app died, and I love that game, so I just kept it on my thing just to remember. And I know one day I'm gonna try and open the DriveTribe app to search something, and it's just gonna say, "Sorry, we couldn't find this." You know that banner that comes up with it, and that's just gonna,
404, yeah,
and that's
website
gonna be,
not found.
and that's gonna be the rest. That's gonna be the final state of the site for anyone who tries to log in. And that's just the saddest thing, was all the content, everything that's gone on there, is logging in and just say, "Sorry, we couldn't find this." It's not. It's just. It's not something I can quite get my head wrapped around.
Yeah. It's sad. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Honestly, the news of this is honestly more impactful to me than like when people in my family have like passed away. It's like, it's that big to me. It's like,
I was going to say I'm in the same boat.
I mean, honestly, it's sad when a family member dies, but like that's kind of expected at some point. Whereas this, it was going strong, and then all of a sudden it's just like, nope, dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be offensive with that statement, but honestly, that's kind of how I feel.
Luckily, I haven't had. I don't think I've had, other than my great grandmother, which she was 90 something. So, you know, she lived a very long, good life. I don't think I've had any. I've been lucky enough not to have any very close relatives die, but there is definitely things that I should have prioritized above this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely sadder things, but it's just the way DriveTribe worked. It let you be a friend. It let you be sort of friends with a lot of people, or at least know lots of people, like Ethan Deggy, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, like those people who are such opinionated, those sorts of comments and such. It's not something, even if you go to the Discord and such, you're not going to find those sorts of types of interactions with articles and such. Even on Opposite Lock, I don't think you'll get those sorts of interactions. And I think that's what we're going to miss, is because everyone could write an article, everyone could comment on said article, and everyone could start a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what's Hammond missing by just buying the YouTube channel, just keeping that along. It's cool to see you three on the YouTube channel, but the thing that DriveTribe built itself was its own internal community.
Yeah. DriveTribe was like the Top Gear audience, where it was the audience mingling amongst each other. That's
I'd agree with that.
And the best moments were when the presenters interacted with said audience.
Yeah.
The few times, I think James May was probably the most active when it came to comment section, for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that if your post was good enough, you'd have James May comment, is brilliant.
Yeah.
And even though it only happened once in a blue moon, which same with the audience, they didn't interact with it all the time. By the end of it, it was a very once in a while thing. Normally, Jeremy insulting someone.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be glad just to get insulted by them.
Yeah. I think my favourite one forever. forever is doing cool. Asked someone if it was uncool, and he said, "It's uncool. It's a Fiat." And they said, "What's wrong with that?" And he said, "It's French."
I know the exact one you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was in the early days of that was like 2005, 2006 Taco, yeah, before it really like took off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. It's French.
I think that's the only thing the earlier episodes got better than the later episodes with audience participation.
Yeah.
Obviously, discount the first season because the audience was out 4 people. And they were all
And it had Jason Dodd, not James May, and James
but I think the early seasons the early seasons were on a budget, and you could tell, and that sort of made it its own way. Like its own way, it was better in some areas thanks to that. It had more silly, small-scale challenges. For instance, how many bikes can we jump using a double-decker bus?
Yeah. Yeah.
You wouldn't see that on New Top Gear, but you saw that then on new episodes of the old Top Gear, I should say. It seemed like something new, like the new guys would do, but. And the audience participation was probably like if the new format go to more audience participation, I feel like they could definitely have their own thing going. But as it is, it's all just read 3 lines off script in the studio, then cut to a film. Nothing happens in the studio anymore in the new show.
Yeah.
And every time I see an episode or I watch like a YouTube compilation, sometimes there'll be those moments where one of them will say something and the other two will just laugh. And you can see that it's genuine laughing and that was like a completely ad-libbed impromptu thing that guy said.
Yeah.
And like that's what the new one doesn't have. It's it's just too scripted, and you can just tell that the presenters are just like not into it as much. It's
my favorite one ever was when they first pulled up with the 3 budget track day cars, the Cosworth, the 2 Cosworths and the M3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they said, "What's that?" And it said, "Might have fallen out of James's luggage," and James completely missed that.
Yeah.
No, my favorite bit was when they're talking about that Honda minivan. About the small child's severed head, and then James says, talking about placement of the kids, the mother and the 2 daughters in the front, and the guy in the back, and James says, she's effectively saying, "You've given me the baby, now get in the back," and then there's just that pause, and then Jeremy just busts out laughing. He's just like, and then like audience just applauds.
Another one from the news is I think Clarkson asked, "What's better, hard than soft?"
Oh yeah.
Some guy from the audience saved all of them just as ice.
Yeah.
Ice, yeah.
I think
definitely no sexual innuendos in that one.
Yeah.
I remember Hammer saying, "Thanks, mate."
Thanks, Thanks for saving us on that one.
Yep. I think my favorite moment of those was when they were talking about the Growler and that entire segment. That's my favorite. I just rewatched that one the other day.
James says, "I'm just going outside to wax the Growler."
Yeah. I love that one. That one's so good.
That's what I'm gonna miss from DT because I had done that whole segment of like the 20 funniest Top Gear segments.
Yeah.
I had done that series of posts, and that was some that one where they're in Bolivia and James is walking up the plank to the little wooden thing where all the cars were set up, and he falls on his left plum.
Yep. Do you want to head? No.
No.
When they stick the Severed Heaven stuff in James's car in the in the first special.
Yeah. There's been a lot of great moments.
Or all of the moments with Oliver.
Yep. Yeah. Any moment with Oliver.
Flute.
Oliver.
I know we can't track this on DriveTribe, but I do want to see the Lancia make return. To be honest, the Merc I'm not that fussed about. I never really was connected to the Merc, but that Lancia, I do want to see it back. I do want to see it back on the road.
Yeah. Now, getting back to DriveTribe for a second, something that frustrates me about its closing, or partial closing, is that this is kind of the same thing that happened with Car Throttle back in 2018, I think it was. Because Car Throttle had a similar thing where it had a community, it had a YouTube page, users could write articles. It was very much like DriveTribe, just a little less a little less structured, but kind of like walking into
and a little less friendly.
Yeah.
Well, especially the meme section, yeah, a lot less friendly. But it was like an open floor plan house. It was really open. You could just see everything from one room. So it was kind of nice in that regard. But same thing. Well, I say the same thing. It's just that the community eventually died out because of a lack of maintenance on the Car Throttle people part. And so now Car Throttle is just effectively it's just a YouTube channel, which is what DriveTribe's eventually going to become.
Yeah. And I think there's one person who continually posts. I'm guessing Car Throttle has him because I don't know why else you would do that.
Yeah.
That's all that's left on the site.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. It's like, God, I'm a 2-time social media refugee. That's what I am.
The saddest part of it is it still comes up with that icon if you're not logged in saying, sorry, you're driving here unchecked, like it matters anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's the saddest thing.
Yeah.
It's like the fragments of... This was once this big social media site, and now it's one person posting once in a while. And if you dive in the archives enough, you'll find when it used to be massive. But
yeah, I remember when my articles got community pick back when it was popular. Then that was the equivalent of getting homepage back on Car Throttle. Not that all those articles deserved it, because they didn't. But
well,
but yeah.
on a more positive note, from being on the tribes, I have to say tribes because I was technically on both of them.
Yeah.
What are you leaving with better at now than you was when you started the tribes? Have they encouraged you to step out of your comfort zone and do something that you wouldn't do? Have they made you better at any one thing?
Well, indirectly through the podcast, actually, public speaking. It's improved massively for me. And probably just writing in general. I finally bothered to install Grammarly because I saw how bad some of my...
I do it.
I read back some of my old ones and I'm like, yeah, this is rubbish. I installed Grammarly and went through a couple of the old ones just to get them back up to scratch. So finally I've got Grammarly up and running, and my quality, I'd like to think, has improved quite a bit since then.
I did
For me, it's been having a place where I can post articles. Because I had pretty much since around the time when I first joined DriveTribe, that's like when I was discovering automotive journalism and kind of thinking, oh, that's cool, I kind of want to do that. And then I found DT, and I was like, oh, hey, look, there's a site where I can do that. I can post stuff on it.
Yeah.
And so just having that outlet to be able to post stuff on and getting to interact with people, and I've become a lot more, let's say, tolerant of numpties.
I can't say the same.
Jake's voice.
I can't say the same in that regard quite, mostly because a lot of that irritation came from Car Throttle and starting there, because so I joined Car Throttle back in 2015 in August, well before DT was a thing, and it started writing sometime after that, and so DriveTribe for me was just an extension of that. So I'm not sure if the articles the articles did partially improve because I wanted to get to homepage just so I could see my articles on the homepage.
I've done the same. I did the same. After I got that Top Gear one, I decided.
Yeah. It's just an addiction. It's like I got to make a better post, a better post.
I had about, I think, a 5-post streak on homepage, and then when that dropped, I was so gutted.
I think my best I had the last couple ones I've done, I think I've made homepage, but I think that's the best I've got. It's just like two streaks, yeah.
Okay, another problem with DriveTribe, I just had it open on my phone looking for stuff to talk about, is it's still broken. It's still broken.
Cody, I mean, what have you learned? Have you done anything or got better at something because of the tribes?
I did start doing quizzes. I did start doing that because I had that capability, and that was interesting. That was a lot of fun because that's not something I'd ever thought about doing before, and I loved making really hard quizzes. That was I was a sadist for that, like the two ultimate Dodge Viper quizzes. I'm like, What are some questions that can be found on the internet? That most people don't know though. And the delight I had in seeing all the 33% in my comment section.
If Cody ran a pub, those quiz questions would what you'd need to answer to get a free pint.
Yeah, pretty much. So, okay. Well, I'll save that. Actually, I'll save that for my goodbye post. But DriveTribe, I can't really say that it helped my writing or that kind of stuff, but it did help. It did help in the social aspect of having some people to talk to about cars, because I very normally don't. Mostly because, unfortunately, people tend to annoy me when it comes to car crap. But
I just never had anyone to talk to, but now, because DriveTribe, I found you guys, I found so many more people. Yeah. So that's something else that I totally didn't even mention before. I've found a lot of cool people to talk to about cars. So.
In the UK, the car community is a weird scale where if you go to the right places, you can easily find car enthusiasts. But if you're on your own, especially in school, you really got no. I mean, the first person I found who's genuinely interested in cars in school who isn't mad, which includes me because I'm completely insane.
Yeah.
Is someone
from
this school I've just came to here after moving house, and I've been 3-4 schools. He's nearly finished my education. That's the first person I found who also likes cars properly. And I mean, seeing that, being able to have that sort of community on DriveTribe is definitely helped me be able to communicate more.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort of people you find on DriveTribe, it'd take, even on big social media sites like Reddit, where you can have specific auto sections, to have the very specific type of community we had on DriveTribe, it'd take ages to find all those sort of people on a bigger social media site. It'd probably be impossible to do it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus maybe Westman Owners Club, but that's specific.
Yeah.
Well, I understand. I got to say that, with mine, first of all, anybody knows my story. I didn't want to be on Food Tribe anyway. It wasn't a plan.
It was a mistake, yeah.
It
wasn't a mistake like that. I mean, like, you didn't mean to, and then you kind of just ended up staying.
And I like food, obviously, and I always like taking pictures. I always did. I was a bit of a photographer. I loved taking pictures. I was the one that always had miscellaneous pictures of all kinds of stuff on your phone all the time. He was like, "Why are you taking pictures of that?" I just wanted to. And I learned to appreciate photography a whole lot more, and I want to be better at it. The odd part is I've learned I really don't like writing. After years of being on Food Tribe and writing articles every day, I found that, you know what? Honestly, I can give it up. I can walk away from it, and I don't care. I just don't want to do that anymore. But because of the tribes, I learned I love making videos, and I didn't know that until, thankfully, because I was always that one that was afraid to be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just out there. And, there again, Tribe, fuel injection, and Leela trying to find out somebody to be in corded cars. I give credit every day. And I thought.
No, I mean, I gotta give credit to you, though. Thanks for sticking with it. I mean, I had no one else to do that with.
I'm pretty sure you brought up the idea of starting Idle Banter as well.
Yeah. And I thought, I'll help you. And when you get on your feet, maybe I'll bail, get out, you find somebody better than me. And, well, look, guys, we've been doing this for over a year now. Oh. And I've had great fun. And Leela will tell you, I've had many conversations with her and others. And then I started John Goldman. And then I started my first YouTube channel, which is the one I done just to put podcasts on. And the next thing I know, I was doing taste tests, and I was, I was just recording everything. And now I got Haunted Every Day, my Ghost Adventure channel. And now I've got 2 YouTube channels. When I swore, if you'd have asked me a little over a year ago are you going to start a YouTube channel? I would have said nope, don't have no interest in it whatsoever, and I didn't. Partially because of nerves and a little bit of just had no interest in it, and now I got 2 of them, and I love it. It's easier to make. This sounds dumb. In some ways, it seems easier to make videos, but at the same time, it's exactly not. It's harder.
It's a lot more. But I think I've kind of understand where as soon as I started writing for DriveTribe, I've wanted to make videos more. And that before DriveTribe, I had many failed attempts at starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They all went to crap because I didn't know. But after writing, I feel like I want to have another go. I've never had time. School. And yeah. Doug knows. Writing is a lot easier. Writing an article is a lot shorter time period than filming, then editing, then writing a title, description, filling all the tags in. It just takes too long for a student to do all of that. It's so.
Ooh, hello.
Oh, your audio went out, David, for a second.
Sorry.
Yeah, just cut out.
I think my headphones cut out. Yeah, that's not good. I might have to buy some new ones. But I think now coming towards the end, I think this summer I do want to start trying to make YouTube videos. I have a couple of ideas already. One sort of Forza-based Top Gear with a couple of my friends, and maybe even Cody can get in on it.
I need to re-up my Xbox Live subscription for that.
Mine's is run out as well, so
yeah,
I'm gonna figure that out. But
yeah, so when I get that done, I'll let you know.
And then I'd probably and then I also had another one, just going car shows and doing voiceover of some of the cool cars spot there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cool cars and I love speaking to owners about cars. I get very nervous, so I've only done it a couple of times. One white R33 GTR running about 400 brake, I think.
Yeah.
And then a Mini, which looked completely stock, but had a Lotus K Series engine out of an Elise in it, making to 150, I think nearly 200 horsepower, had power to weight of a Dodge Viper.
Christ on a bike!
And then the third one was a very, very early 2000s Hyundai S Coupe, like I haven't had, but very early 2000s. It had TVR flip paint. It had purple and green.
Yeah.
It had a massive wide body kit. Apparently the front bumper had cracked, so he just stuck, because it fit in with the aesthetic and he couldn't find another one, he just stuck a WRX STI bumper on the front. Had a hood scoop, had the interior, had all of the... it's brilliant talking to owners, and I'd love to bring that more out.
There you go. Well, I never thought, due to, everything, thanks to Tribes and Leela, and I never would have thought I would have owned a selfie stick. That's for daggone.
Really?
Now I own a selfie stick and 2 attachable lights that fit to my phone so I can record while I do it. And yeah, trust me, things that I never thought I'd be doing, and now I'm spending mad money trying to, And don't get fooled, y'all. Making videos ain't cheap either. Not only hard, it is expensive.
Well, it depends what videos you're making, and also depends how much help you get with it. But even doing on the most budget I could try to make gaming videos. I had to spend 20 quid on on the cheapest crap microphone I could get, then 60 quid on the graphics card because I wasn't going to shell out for the PC, and then 200 quid on a PC and 200 quid for this sort of PC is a steal. It should have been a lot closer to 500. But to get a PC that would even somewhat run editing software and process it without 100% of the time crashing, it still crashes about 40% of the time, but hey, you're running on a budget here. What are you going to do? It's expensive, it's difficult, but writing has made me so much more willing to do it, and I think what DriveTribe did is make that sort of media accessible. Like, everyone could have a go at it, and if they wanted to stick with it, they could. If they wanted to move into videography, they could. It gave everyone an opportunity, and I think the community going forward, I think DriveTribe has produced a lot of people who are going to do bigger things in the automotive world now, or in the food world as well.
Yeah.
Because of it.
And that might be something even I do too, is like, we have a lot of car shows here, especially during spring, summer area. and well, all for the most part. I might start doing more videos of those as well, and doing things there, and just trying to find more ways to get out to make videos. That's the other thing. So in all reality, it's the two tribes together has motivated me to do something, and made me find something that I didn't even know I liked. I really had no idea about making videos, and now I found it as something I love, and I was talking with my wife. Of course, she's on Food Tribe too, and DriveTribe as well. Y'all know, and we both, we both pound out pavement trying to get stuff done and do it well and get that grind going. And when this bombshell goes off and the dust settles, we're going two very different directions. She's going to start a blog and some things. She is going to keep her YouTube channel up, and she's going to do that. And I'm not writing anymore. I'm done. I'll be on Discord to keep up with the community, and I'm going to YouTube. And I'm going to make videos. So I'm done.
I mean, just this podcast would not been possible without DriveTribe. I mean, what? Well, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's track back from the beginning. Rahul sends out a post saying he wants to invite people to make a car magazine on DriveTribe.
Yeah.
I sign up. I'm guessing Cody, Layla, and Doug signed up as well.
I didn't actually.
Cody,
I don't
yeah,
did either.
yeah.
I think it was you. I think it was you, Damon, me, Mason Bloom, and a few other people. But I don't
So
think
we get that.
Doug and Cody were initially.
We get that going, and then we start Then Layla and Rahul start a podcast interviewing people. Then they start with the Court of Cars, which I think is how I met Layla, and was Cody on the Court of Cars where we discussed Audi?
Yes.
I was,
Yeah.
I was on one of
That's
the
the
first
first
ones.
time I ever talked
Yeah,
to
I
you,
think
Cody.
that's the first
I
one.
think we were waiting for people to show up to the debate, and you and I just talked about I don't even know what.
I
We
think
talked
were talking
about
the SVT Contour.
I think so.
And I
I
joined
think we
halfway
talked
through
about
and then
some kind of
waffled about the
Kia as well, I
ST220.
Strangely.
Yeah.
I think we talked about some kind of Kia, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
For about 10 minutes before people showed up. Yeah.
And then ages down the line, we do another Court of Cars for YouTube, where Doug joins in, and I think it was for, what was it, M3? M4? With the new mad, silly grill.
Still cool.
Yeah. And then through that we started Idle Banter, because afterwards we just went on talking about cars for a good,
2 hours, I think.
2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it was Doug that said, "Why don't we just make this into the podcast?"
Well,
and then I made a post on DriveTribe saying, I made it like, I think we made it a Tribe Coin competition where it was people can. The best people can, give us what they think the name of the new segment should be, and the best wins X amount of Tribe Coin. And this person called Karina Autofora, sorry if I'm butchering that name, gave us Idle Banter, and they won the, whatever it was, 200 or 500 Tribe Coin.
Since we haven't mentioned it, quick disclaimer, this podcast is not going away at all.
This podcast is staying. DriveTribe, the site and everything might be going bust, but we, as a team,
we're staying.
We're staying.
We're
not going anywhere.
And hopefully we'll get the site back up at some point. But yeah, this is staying.
That brings up something, because I remember when we done Court of Cars, and okay, guys, let's be honest. Well, at least anyway, my point of view, that was almost awkward. It really was.
It was. No, I have to agree with you on that. Yeah.
Because it seemed like it should have been scripted, but it kind of wasn't. But it was kind of forced into that kind of template. But what a lot of people out there, might not know. Well, you might now if you've been around for a long time. Honestly, the best conversations and some of the best content is when the camera got turned off and we just sat there and talked.
Yeah,
and I think if you got everything, if we started filming from right soon as we all joined the call, we would have at least 3 more episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'd have we had a discussion about what was it called? What C4 Corvette was one of them, more recent ones I remember.
So.
And,
we had a whole. I think we had the whole conversation about the C8 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point, yeah.
And we often get into that. We have complete content worthy conversations before and after a podcast, and I think we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
And
even today, Damon was mentioning a few things about the whole DriveTribe thing, and he brought up a few good points. He was, we were talking about the whole financial side of it, and we were trying to speculate a bit, and we were like, at least I think I thought to myself, why did I not just hit the film button now? Like, I think the only thing that keeps stopping me from doing that is, if I just clicked it now, well, obviously it was filming now, so I couldn't. Yeah. But if I had clicked it then, it would be a bit awkward, just starting from then, like in the middle of a conversation, I have to do the intro and then kind of lead into it. I couldn't just click the button and then he'll damn me go, and that's why DT's going bust. Like, wait, what? What?
Yep,
What's this?
Although my favorite podcast ever does start. It's called the Engine Failure Podcast. They just start in the middle. Apparently, the guy's been telling the same story. And as soon as the whole cast laughs, he cuts from that story, says, "Welcome to the Engine Failure Podcast," while everyone else in the background giggling their heads off. And then just continues a completely different one.
Oh, that's funny. I have to go check that out. We may have to go try 1 or 2 episodes just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Well, and go ahead, Cody.
I was going to say, but honestly, though, because me and Doug, we were definitely late additions. Because I had known about the fuel injection tribe for a little bit. I wasn't writing that consistently back then, so I imagine that's why I didn't get invited.
Well, I think you have to send a message to him just to ask.
Oh, maybe?
Well,
okay.
That's what I didn't...
Oh, okay.
Honestly, Cody, I didn't even know about you back then, but if I had, then I would have invited you.
He said, can you write 2 small posts twice a week? And I said, sure, why not?
Yeah. I think Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I went to the chat in the tribe, and I saw they were doing a Court of Cars, and I'm like, ooh, this is a debate format. I like this. I'm going to join it. And then that's where I joined in the first one, about the Audis.
Yeah. That one didn't make it to YouTube. I think that was all on Discord, wasn't it?
That was all on Discord, That was before the
podcast.
Was it before the podcast, or was it? I don't know. Either way, though, it didn't make it onto YouTube. Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say, I think the Idol Banter series. I went back and I don't know if you guys do this, but occasionally I'll go back and watch some of our old stuff just to see the differences. And when I realized we've been doing this for over a year now, it's like, oh wow. So I went back to like the original stuff, like when I joined in the Quarter Cars, and even some of the first Idol Banter series, and it's different because if you watch, we all talk pretty good, but our camaraderie is way different now.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching old Top Gear when you go back to season 2 and 3. It's just kind of awkward.
It's a little bit cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you get up into the newer ones, you can tell they've gotten to know each other. Yeah. They know each other's personalities, likes, dislikes, and stuff like that. And even trigger points, And I have watched that growth over time with us, and because in a way it's the same thing. Honestly, our first stuff was a little cringy. It was a little weird, and
but then everything starts like that most of the time.
When we were making it, I was like, "This is kind of."
I don't think any new venture with 2 people starts out brilliant right out the gate. 2 or more people. No.
But then now you watch it, and the how we interact, our interaction, and our responses, and even our humor with each other, you can tell has grown and gotten better. And I think that this is only 1 year, and we're still basically a little bit of nothing, but I think it's going to be, it could be bigger, and that's why I was really happy that Leela decided to continue this even afterwards. And not only that, I miss talking to y'all. I get to sit and talk cars with people, and one thing I am thankful for is that I have got to meet you guys on a whim, on a hunch. I just wanted to help, and it has been great getting to know all y'all, talk to y'all, even though we might not always have the same opinion.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, all of us might not.
Small engine versus big engine.
Yeah, well, the Prius ain't the greatest thing since sliced bread after all.
It isn't, it isn't, but it also isn't the worst thing since HIV.
It is the worst thing since sliced bread.